Hello everybody, welcome back to another tutorial by InfoSec Operator. Today's is going to be a little bit different as we're going to be covering a much longer in-depth version of the Kali Linux command line and Kali Linux administration. So I would highly recommend that each of you grab a pencil and paper, as this one may be a little bit longer and more tedious to follow along to. However, it's up to you. So, the point of this mini course is to teach each of you the non-script kiddie approach to Kali Linux administration. In order to understand Kali Linux in-depthly, we need to learn very specific commands within the Kali Linux command terminal. Now, these commands are things that not only are you going to run across in an ethical hacking environment, but also if you're getting into Linux administration or even server administration, that being server on a Linux system. Some of this can even apply to Unix administration. So the first thing we need to understand is that when we first install Kali Linux, we are /root. Root is responsible for all other directories. So bin or binary, and we got Python or .py, our audio, our video, as well as our executables, among many other things. If I spelled that correctly. So, whenever we first download Kali Linux, we're going to be in root. How you understand what root is by, you will see root at Linux, and you're going to see your strange little wave symbol here and a hashtag. Non-root users will be such as InfoSec at Linux, and you're going to have this $sign is a non-root user. So root user, going down, and we have non-root user. So that is how you can tell. Now, some of the commands in our command line terminal here, I'm actually going to minimize that. In one of the previous videos I showed PWD, or print working directory. Now that just shows you what directory we're in. Now we could list our working directory. We can change our directory, and we can change out of our directory. We can clear our screen. So those are the very, very fundamentals. Now, whenever we are looking into more details of a listing of a directory, we can do ls-l. This is going to give us our permissions, our users, when it was created, the times it was created, etc. We can clear that. Anytime that we need to look up our a specific command, we could do man for short for manual, and let's just say touch. So this is going to give you a manual on how to create a file stamp, or I'm sorry, of a file. So going down, you just press the down arrow, press Q to quit. Clear. So now, in order to, we can add users and subtract users. So add user, and then enter the name that you would like to make that user. So we could say InfoSec operator. Now, there's a difference here though. Whenever we have, if we just did add user and then name that user, this is going to give them no sudo permissions, and it will not be linked to the root directory. Now, if we wanted to have them connected to the root directory, we would add sudo at the end. So then you just press enter and it would create that user. Now, I don't want to create a user right now, so I'm not going to. Now, we could do touch, and this is going to create a file, and we would do name, well, let's change to desktop. So now we're in desktop touch, and let's say my file. Now, if we list, my file is now on the desktop. Now, in order to edit this file, we can type in nano, or there's other ones, other text editors such as VI or Vim, but we're going to say my file. Now, all we need to do is type information into this file. So and we just press Control X, hit Y, and enter. Now ls. So that is how we made a file on the desktop. It now contains information. Okay. Now if we wanted to copy a file, we just do cp ... and our file name, which would be my file, and it would move it to the current directory, but we already have it in the directory, in this current directory. So cd clear. Now, let's say that we wanted to delete the file. So cd desktop and rm, or remove, and our file name, which is my file, and list, and there is nothing to list anymore, so we deleted that file. Now, if we would like to possibly echo a phrase onto our terminal, let's go back to our root terminal, or root directory, excuse me. We could do echo, and it echoes hello there, right onto our terminal. Okay, so clear. Now, if we wanted to add multiple lines to our, so let's go back to desktop here, cd desktop. I want to create a file again, so I'm going to say touch, and we're going to say my file. So now list, and we see my file, so we're good there. Now nano my file, and I want to say hello YouTube. Be sure to subscribe. And let's say that I want to exit and save the file, my file. Okay, so now if we want to read the contents of a file, all we have to do is say cat my file, and that will print the file content onto your terminal. So clear and cd. Now a more complicated command system is CHMOD. My file, we'll say. Brand. Let's say CHMOD. Okay. And we can use CHMOD, or what I call CHMOD, in order to write permissions to a file. You have a couple different options here. You have a digit set, or integers, from 0 to 7. 0 is no permission, 1 is execute only, 2 is write only, 3 is write and execute, 4 is read only, 5 read and execute, 6 read and write, 7 equals full. So if we wanted to do this to a file, chmod, and as we've seen before, there's 3 different sets. You got your root user set, so we want to be able to access that 750, and my file. I may also be in the wrong directory, but okay, so yeah, cd desktop and ls, make sure, okay, clear. So chmod 750 my file, and we just changed the permissions to my file. So now if we do my file, or ls-l my file, and we can see that we have changed the permissions here. So clear and cd. Okay, and then also too, we want to be able to, there's a way that we can emulate a root terminal onto another remote machine. Now in order to do that, we would do we're going to have to use Netcat. This is more of a hacking technique in a way. So clear nc -lvp, well, yeah, -lvp, and then specify your port, which is 80-e, and binary bash, because this is our bash terminal. Okay, now if you want to test it out, you just open up another terminal and type in nc 10.0.0.92, and we're going to say 80, or I'm sorry, 80, just in plain. Wrong, wrong. Okay, so okay, and now you can see connect to from Linux. So once the terminal is exited out, it closes connection. Alright, so that is a lot of the uh, commands that each of you are going to be running into. So thank you guys for watching this tutorial.